Nick's Twitter sounds exactly like New York City growing up on a cheese bus. And when you said it, when you said the same exact thing on the show, I was like, "Thank you. I know I'm not bugging." How, do you like that? The '90s, New York, it was fun because we were had a chance. But can you explain it for anyone who's watching my show? What how was it from your point of view? I'm crazy.
Well, unfortunately, the Knicks decided to enter into a period of complete and utter dysfunction during the rise of social media. So, because of that, you have people who are 15, 20, 25 years old. Like Twitter, I say, rose to prominence in 2009. I am part of the class of '09. So, if you were born in, let's say, 1997, in 2009, you're 12 years old. You have never seen the Knicks have any sustained success whatsoever. So you say to yourself, and listen, if you're born in 1997, you are now 35 years old. No, not 35, 25 years old.
Right, right.
Um, you're like, I don't understand how anyone would root for a fan of this team, how anyone would be a fan of this team because they've been garbage my entire basketball watching life. I am here to tell you, as someone who's been watching the Knicks since 1992, that the '90s Knicks were a and listen, they never won anything. They didn't win a championship, but they defined and helped redefine the NBA. Like, it's very possible that without the '90s Knicks, there is no Steph Curry. And what I mean by that is
Ooh,
the way the '90s
wait.
Knicks play. Okay,
Where you go? I like the left field analogies, think or metaphors. Let's go.
the way the '90s Knicks played ushered in so many rule changes to benefit offense that it made it easier for someone like Steph Curry to be, not that he wouldn't be an NBA player, because anyone who says that is stupid, but Steph Curry is not Steph Curry if he plays in the '90s because you can grab, you could hold, you could push, you can clutch. Like if he went into the lane, he'd catch an elbow to the face. It wouldn't be a flagrant. It would just be a hard foul. Um, the Knicks and listen, I do believe that the actual level of defense of those '90s Knicks were overrated. But whether you think that or not, what they did impacted the game so much that they were the impetus to change the rules. Like hand checking went away because of us. Like so, yeah. But yeah, back to the Knicks. Like, listen, they represented the blue collar New York, the soul of New York. They were tough, hard nosed, gritty, a lot of underdogs. Like John Starks, undrafted guy. Anthony Mason, either low draft pick or undrafted. Like Charles Oakley's from Virginia Union, right? And for the Knicks to be successful, the whole had to be the sum of the parts. And they just fought and they defended and they fought and we loved them for it. And to this day, you know, Knicks fans we would rather win a game 87-84 than to win a game 145-135. So that's I mean, and we loved them and they were good and the Knicks see and the other thing is this, and then we'll move on. The '90s Knicks rolled out of bed and made the playoffs every year. Rolled out of bed. It wasn't like, oh, we might make the playoffs this year. It's no, we're making the playoffs. What's our seed gonna be? Are we gonna be one? Or we gonna be two? Or we gonna be three? And also, the New York Knicks are the pulled off arguably the greatest non-championship run in '99 as an eight seed. Like I watched my team make the finals as an eight seed. So to me, anything to me back then, I'm 18 years old, anything is possible. So fans of my age group, that's why we're fans, because we've seen success. And I also know that things are cyclical and what goes around eventually comes back around.
Well, I think the key there, of course, is having a franchise player, and regardless of how anyone ranks Patrick Ewing now, I get the flaws. Everyone wants to say whatever about he wasn't a Akeem Olajuwon, whatever. He's still a franchise player. But the thing that you spoke to, which I always bring up, is that we had to battle the Michael Jordan fans, not the Chicago Bulls fans, because those guys are no longer around. And their kids are probably these Golden State fans that are pissing me off today.
Yes.
Right? So that, like, what the struggle with people that not understanding stan culture, because that's what that is. Michael Jordan really birthed stan culture. Like we had Magic and Bird before, but the like Mike syndrome birthed. I was an Allen Iverson fan. I had braids because of Allen Iverson. Like, so I understand being a stan, but at the same time, that leads me to the stan culture with the hives that we have on the Knicks now. With it used to be Franklin Lakina, used to be Kevin Knox, and it's a great thing because when they're on these teams, look at Alec Burks. He comes visiting the other day from Detroit. He gets a round of applause from the crowd. Like, that's dope.